The views and opinions on the Air with Mike Allen show do not reflect the views and opinions of any other content on Fort Kick-Ass Productions. The following has mature content. Have fun.
Hello, everybody. Mike Allen here. Welcome to the show. Tonight, of course, we'll be following up on Week 3 of the XFL. A big surprise is one of the worst teams in the XFL jumped up there and got a win. Also, a shot of commercial about a phone app that enhances your pictures that you take. I know. Like we need another one of those, but it was a lot of fun. I got a story there. Mad Mike is here. He had some excitement today, and he is the owner of a brand new tire. Now, if we could just scrape the crap off that tire, and he'll talk to us about his harrowing experiences. Player to be named later is here. Leland Freeman is here, and I'm here. And you can be here too. Just go to www.theradiomancave.com if you're watching on the TikTok. And if you're here joining us now, welcome. As we get adjusted in here. Hey, I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave. Welcome to the show. You're on the air. Get us all turned on. Another week has gone by.
Yeah.
And it sounds like all of us had a productive day.
Yeah.
I actually got the lawn mowed, and I'm out of shape. And I've even been walking and running. But mowing the lawn is, it'll take a bit out of you. Okay, what do we got going on today? Well, we're going to talk about the XFL here in a little bit. We got Mike's mystery drink. He went out and got the mystery drink. We got Bailey Halbrooks on TikTok said, my dog just face planted on the floor and farted. So that's going on out there. Tell you what, anytime a dog face plants, that's a good day.
Come on, Mike.
Is it
What? You didn't applaud to the dog face planting.
No, he's not paying attention.
Yeah,
he's still thinking about his drink.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wake up a little
Still
bit.
trying to wake up.
Tired.
Some political news. We'll probably get into that with Leland Freeman here about Bernie getting screwed over again by the Democratic Party. And we'll talk about that. About how, if Bernie gets elected, we are going to immediately turn into a communist country. Y'all know that, right? Because Fox News says it. Take that to the bank.
Yeah.
He's a fan of One America News himself.
Do what?
I can already smell the cattle cars.
Turn your mic on.
Well, look at that. It's up.
Paduker.
Come on.
Come on, Paduker.
Well, I'm not going to say it a third time, but it was a funny joke.
No, say it again so we can hear. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, well, you don't get to hear it now.
You know,
Now with that attitude.
Yeah.
because you're constantly
Turning off the mic.
unplugging stuff over here.
Because
You're
I
not
use
plugging
it to
back in.
that's the cord I use when I go in the booth to do the recording and stuff.
Just not leaving things how you found it.
Yeah, that's not very cash money of you.
It's not very helpful of you.
Good Lord.
Anyway, what do we
This
what
could
do we
all-
do?
All right. Mike, on his way to work yesterday,
Today?
had a small problem with having a, would you call it a slight air leak in one of your tires?
Oh, that wasn't coming home from work.
You weren't coming home?
Well, I was coming home, but
Yeah.
it wasn't after work.
Well, coming home from whatever you were doing.
Yeah, mystery day.
Mystery day.
Yeah, it was
Mystery day.
mystery day. Wait, can we lower the volume?
Are you
on
guys
these
still
things?
on your thighs out? Man, I
Yeah, that's like the thing.
Proud of my glorious thighs.
It's also hot as balls in here.
How is it hot as balls in here?
It's actually comfortable.
It's
in
like
here, man.
95 degrees.
It's not
I
95
was like,
degrees in
dude,
here.
It's
It's a long
definitely-
day for me. I'm not wearing pants.
Yeah. My giblets are sticking to my leg.
You're in no pants.
Yeah.
You just went right to no pants.
Went home, took off my pants. I've been in my gym shorts since.
Since.
The jimmies.
It was one of those days.
Hey, that mic's not on, is it?
I don't know. Is it on?
Is it?
Sounds like it's on.
It sounds like it's on.
I don't know. I can't hear the YouTube. If people on
Mike,
YouTube
is Mike
start
right here?
complaining about.
No, it's not on.
So anyway, so what happened, Mike?
Oh, well, I mean, first of all, like, can we lower the volume on these a little bit? It's loud.
Is that yours right there?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that yours?
much better.
that yours?
Hold on.
I can't hear
He's
shit.
preparing for Crazy Joe Pardini calling in, too.
Yeah, if he calls, I'll literally go deaf, and I'm going to be pretty pissed.
Yeah.
Loud bastard. So, as they would say, I had a small tire leak, and it happened at a very inopportune time, I guess.
I mean, you patched the tire with a new tire.
Yeah, I guess it was it was an interesting kind of deal. I mean, I was only doing like 80, and then
I'm surprised that heap does 80.
I was going to say the same thing.
that piece of shit will do 130.
Kilometers?
No, miles. Yeah, no, it's actually a lot faster than people think.
But why would you go 130 miles an hour with that?
Because if you ain't
Because
first,
you
you're
can.
last. Yeah. We pretty much have an
I mean, the whole
Autobahn
thing
here
could,
in Central
the
Texas.
whole thing
Why
could
not
fly
do it?
apart at any minute, and yet
Yeah, so did Space Shuttle Discovery or whatever. Okay?
Columbian Challenger.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Whatever. So we have we have an
so on his way to work, he slipped the surly bonds of Earth
yeah.
to touch the stars.
It would be really like if the thing spontaneously disassembled
That thing.
itself. It would be pretty
The
cool.
planes I fly can't get 130 miles an hour.
So-
Not with that attitude.
So I get up this morning, I go to work, and I get done. I
Dude,
I
okay,
make
sorry,
my money.
Hold on. I've been in downhill. It'll hit 130, and it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, and you don't have to be like super
All right,
downhill.
You can stop doing
just
this
a
now.
little bit.
You can just slow down. Wait, the speed limit's already like 85. All right, the cops do 90 out here. All right, just
There's
there's no reason.
Is,
for
is it
this.
because you don't have any working brakes? Is that why you just say, hell,
No.
let's go faster?
It's,
oh, and for those of you, we're talking about Mike's
it's light?
rollover express.
his love, his life, his
His love for vehicular-based physics.
Yeah.
faithful companion, which is a 1997,
96
a 1996 Ford
rollover mobile.
Ford Ranger
No, the
Explorer.
Explorer, Ford
That's
Explorer,
what is commonly known as the Explorer. Hey,
but it's got the V8 in it though, right?
no, it's a V6.
It's a V6.
Yeah, so the reason why it goes faster is because I kind of tore apart the engine and rebuilt it to make it go faster.
how many miles do you have on it? Because mine's also a
300,000.
300,000
So
on a
you got-
1996 Ford Explorer.
You see, I only have 206,000 in a 96 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And it, no way it can go 130. It goes 100. At one point, it went 112 10 years ago.
So I get home from work today, and it's sitting in the driveway. So we just fixed it yesterday. What the hell? So I knock on the door. I'm like, "What's going on?" He says, "Well, it overheated when I was halfway to work." I'm thinking, why
Bro,
didn't
you
you
didn't
just
tell me any of this?
why didn't you just
Yeah,
go
no.
the rest
I
of the
wouldn't-
way to work and
I
then
wasn't like
figure it
halfway to
out?
work. I made it to Pflugerville.
Anyway,
is like-
you said halfway. I didn't argue it. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? He says, well, it's overheating. So anytime I've had a vehicle and it overheats, and anybody out there listening or watching, when your vehicle overheats, what's the first thing you check? TikTok?
Yeah, whatever.
Check the
Okay.
fluids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the coolant
Yeah, you
level.
check the fluids, right? First you check the coolant.
It was muy thirsty.
Right? And then you check the oil. If the coolant's okay, you check the oil because that's the two things that keep your vehicle from exploding.
And you see if there's a giant slick of coolant that's trailing you.
Yeah. So how much coolant did we put in there? Two jugs.
No,
Just a
jug.
No, because I put the jug in your radiator and then I have to pop the other one. I had 3 of them when I started.
Oh, nice.
Then I gave you the other 2.
Oh, the other one I didn't end up using.
No?
Yeah, I put it back in the
Well,
garage.
yeah, because I gave it to you in case you needed it.
How new is your radiator?
Oh, probably not new. I think I replaced.
Well, it's a 1996 Ford.
I think I
I
replaced
had a
the-
bad experience with a Spectra Premium radiator. Do not ever put a Spectra Premium radiator because they fail after 2 years.
I think I replaced that one like I don't know 5 years ago. Before.
Well, they're made out of plastic now, so
Yeah.
they're not. I mean,
I wasn't. Yeah,
the one I got
found
in
the
my old
issue was
minivan, I got to swap out. It's all
literally just
plastic.
like one of the return hoses at the bottom had just enough play to like after it would get hot and it would just start dripping, and I was like,
the pressure.
yeah. So then I just like cut back the hose like a 1/4 inch and then clamped it back on, and problem solved. It was I'm just really
There it
pissed
is.
because it was one more thing that decided to I don't know happen. Other than
But
I
the
have
cool-
300,000 miles, though.
But that's not the cool
You
part. The cool
You're
part.
an idiot.
Well, we've known this. We've known this for
the cool part
for
though,
years and years.
that we still haven't talked about was the spontaneous disassembly of a tire.
Well, I don't know. Well, we mentioned the fact that you are now the proud owner of a brand new tire that's got all this shit on it.
It wasn't spontaneous. It was inevitable.
It was just
It was
a matter
the
of
inevitable
when.
That tire was going to snap its fingers.
shredding.
Was it more plugs and patches than actual rubber at that
No,
point?
that one actually never got plugged or patched.
That was part of the issue.
That was part of the issue.
It was maybe because like some of the wire was showing or something.
The steel belts.
Yeah,
How many miles do you
I
think?
call that extra grip.
yeah.
How many miles
that's
were on
what's-
that tire?
that's-
Hey,
a
that's
snow tire.
extra grip. That's what that is.
That became a snow tire.
That's so you get the sparkles when you drive around corners.
Anyway, so I'm coming off.
We went
Of,
to
I
the
actually-
range. We
I actually-
could've just like went and took it to the Walmart right then and there and dropped it off,
I know.
and then gone to the range, then come back and picked it up.
yeah, but
Nope.
I was coming off an almond ramp.
Parked it
Not
at the
my
Valerio.
Get-
Parked it at the Valerio in the shady side. He parked it at a Valerio in the shady side of town. Nobody stole it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
those
we were probably like, this thing's about to fall apart.
nah, those guys at the gas station are sick.
Did they actually leave you another car out of pity? Says, drive this.
Nah, they're pretty
Did they
cool.
actually fix your tire?
Blue collar
I
heathen
wish.
on TikTok says tires coming apart on a truck are a good time.
That's what I'm saying, especially when you're doing 80 off of a ramp that I skid down.
So that's so let's talk about why you're in that truck with those tires with the wires showing going 80.
Because
You couldn't go 100.
yeah,
I mean,
you gotta-
I
He
can
was
tell.
like, I'm
I
just gonna
can
take
tell
the
he
tow
put
rail
no.
back, and I was like, "Are you sure?"
put
Dad?
no
Like,
thought
you
into it.
You should probably like take it easy on that.
oh nope.
I mean, he
the
puts
truck, he's
zero
like-
thought into it. See, I'm in a truck that could fly apart at any minute. I got wires poking out my tires. Let me go 80 on the towaway.
Yeah.
There,
The only
there are
re-
wires
With no
poking out of
coolant.
tires out of mud tires.
My hair will protect me. My hair is like wearing a helmet. It will protect me.
That it was pretty sick because like so
I'm sitting there after a long day of being out,
eating
full of
barbecue.
just full. I got like 5 pounds of meat. It was good. It was good stuff. Sitting there on the toilet, contemplating the day that I just had with gratitude, as it was just flowing
As you
out of
should.
me.
As you should.
And Michael Davis comes up. It says Davis of Zoltan on my caller ID, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Hey, man, I need your help." I was like, "Yeah, I bet."
quote unquote, I fucking knew it.
Whoa! What time is it? 9:14. First F-bomb.
Hey, it's not. I clicked on the thing that says it's not made for children, right? So adults are watching.
It
this.
doesn't matter.
Adults are
That's
watching
a
this.
thing. It's a bit. 9:15. 9:15.
Bit for children.
But yeah,
So the value of the tire being attached to your truck has
Probably,
had its value just
Probably-
going down the toilet.
probably
took
costs
the
more
fender
than
with
the
it.
truck itself. At this
Probably
point.
right about
Possibly.
that.
Possibly.
But yeah, no. So I'm coming down the ramp doing like 80 because, unfortunately, because of how much shit is currently in my truck, I can't take corners as fast. So I only could do 80 because there was already
Shit
an
that's been in
inherent
his
roll
truck for months
that I,
on end. And I'm like, when are you going to take this shit out of here? And he's like,
He's like one of those folks that works
I
late
guess I
night.
have to burn something.
He's like one of the
literally.
he's like one of the guys that works at home at the Circle K, the midnight shift. He's got his car parked over there and he has just enough room to sit in the driver's seat. And
Yeah,
the rest of
yeah.
it's packed with drunk. That's
Yeah, it was pretty
Jeez.
cool. But anyway, so I'm coming
nothing
down
against anybody that works at Circle K, by the way.
We just know
I
somebody.
mean,
who-
thank you for locking the bathrooms because they're out of order because you can't keep the homeless people from smoking crack in there. Well, I gotta pee.
But we were. Well, I was rolling down this ramp doing like 80, and then the front left tire just decided to spontaneously disassemble without any warning. Like the whole tread actually just came off the tire. Like the whole length of tread separated, and it decided number one to do three things. Right, other than separate. It took my spare keys with it, which I was pretty pissed about because those are in a little lockbox on my bumper. So those got slapped off. It then decided to hit my front, fender in that quarter panel and then push it up and bulge it out.
Oh yeah, it looks
That's pretty fucked. And then it came down and it hit the rocker panel, put a giant dent in that, and as it shredded, it came back and hit my mirror and knocked it back. So I was like, oh shit. And then like the whole thing started going to the left and I'm like doing 80 and I'm like, oh, this is not good. So I just counter steer it the other direction to try to turn the skid so I'm facing, because if I want to roll over, I want it to be on my side,
yeah.
And then I just gas that son of a bitch and then I skid the whole thing across like the whole ramp down and then just kind of pull off into the grass. And I was like, well, I didn't die. And like it was cool because like as I'm in this weird 4-wheel skid of imminent doom, there was a car that was like I passed skidding. And like the dude was just like, meh, whatever, and just kept driving. And I was like, that's cool.
These weren't Firestone tires, were they?
No, I don't know. I don't know whose tires they are.
And this didn't cause your coolant failure.
I don't know. Maybe. The whole thing, I mean, was the coolant leaking. That could be because the truck is old, or because I pulled like 5 G's, in this shit box of doom. I think it literally caused
Mad Mike in the shit box of doom.
it probably caused like enough outside.
Hello, everybody on
atmospheric pressure
TikTok.
and other things that just cause it to spontaneously leak. I don't know. It's bad. I
those-
have to fix an emissions problem too, I guess.
For those watching on TikTok, if you go to theradiomancave.com, click on it, you can watch the show in its entirety with all the phone calls and behind the scenes stuff. This is just, the behind the scenes stuff. Or you can stay here, whatever you want to do.
Actually, you won't have to worry about that in a year.
So he survived,
Yes.
and here we are. All right.
Once
Yeah.
it turns 25, you don't have to worry about emissions anymore.
I mean, that'll be like in a year because
It's not gonna.
Here's
It's
my
not
thing.
gonna get.
Like-
he hasn't had it inspected or registered since 2015.
Well, the way he drives it, no shit.
Well, technically that would be 2014.
Yes.
Shit.
So like
6 years.
yeah. You looking for emissions? I don't even get registration.
I don't know why you're trying to call me out.
Yeah. The death machine is like
Hey, it's a 24-year-old Explorer with 300,000 miles.
It is a death machine for sure.
it is. I had a couple of people like message me. They're like, "Oh, I hope you're okay," and I'm like, "Well, obviously, because I'm like not fucking dead." So
Then Alex and I and your dad are like dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. But like my favorite thing is I got a message from one of my good buddies, and he was like, "I can't believe that shit box is still rolling," and I'm like, "Man, it survives on sheer will of hatred alone." Like,
Yeah. Hatred and
built for tough.
minimal maintenance.
yeah, I mean, it's a testament to how like
So
duct tape works.
I shot a commercial.
Does it have to do with
moving on
tires?
from that. No, it doesn't.
Sorry, hold on. Knowing all this, Here's as badass as that story was, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, like I didn't do like a 3-tire skid. This asshole had the audacity to roll around in that shit box without a spare, a tire iron, or a jack.
Because he lives on the edge.
Or a dash cam, so we couldn't see his.
Oh no! The best part
He
is
lives on the edge. He has
Oh,
no
no.
maintenance tools whatsoever in this car as he's driving it to work
The
every
best
day.
part is I was actually trying to film a Snapchat to send it to Alex while this happened, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" and just threw my phone and put 2 hands on the wheel, so I was driving with one hand.
And we don't have that video?
No.
No. And then the what's called the roadside heroes or whatever it is for the toll road, he's out there, because hey, do you need to swap a what's called the spare or something, right? This dude has like a floor jack, but it's probably like pneumatic and all these other.
Oh yeah, they got
tools
pit
and
stop
everything.
stuff out there, man.
And he's like, "Yeah, man, I told him I was good." So he couldn't even I roll up, and the tire's still on there, and he's on the phone, and I'm like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
Why would you tell him? Why didn't you get him to take the tire
Somebody
off?
was like, "Yeah."
That way we can just go."
I was like, "I need to get it towed." They were like, "It's $500," and I was like, "No."
So the moral of the story is you're gonna get a dash cam, but not a tire iron or a jack.
But you know what's bad? I have them and they're in the garage,
No, he's got all the tools. He just didn't have them.
in the shit
Again,
box.
he
In
just
the
has
shit
the
box.
audacity.
Yeah. You got to live life on the
Some
edge.
say balls.
Every car has a jack.
You have obviously never been in my Explorer.
No, he's got everything in that Explorer except the jack.
Yeah.
All right, so I shot a commercial, and I got booked for the commercial, and it's a paying gig, so yay. And I didn't. This is the first time I never got any sides or anything. I never got anything about what I was doing. Nothing. Well, the premise of the commercial was I was going to do like a reaction, okay, and I'm not going to get too into what it is because, of course, you have to sign a non-disclosure and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things they had me do is describe what I'm feeling when I'm looking at this product, which has to do with a cell phone app, and and the director said, we're having a little competition to see how much we have to bleep out with our actors and actresses who are doing this. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, if you cuss, we have to bleep it out. And,
Did
So-
they
so
want?
go-
So they wanted you all to cuss?
well, yeah, not realizing that I'm, they're dealing with an ex-cop and a combat vet with a vast array of colorful language all stocked up. So I took off with it. Of course, they loved it. And then he's like, stop. Okay, you can tone it down. You win. You can tone it down.
That's awesome.
That's brilliant.
So we'll see how that ends up. It's supposed to be used on the intranet. We'll see how they'll edit that.
I still think that's less fun.
It is less fun than you blowing your tire up. Yeah.
That would be
idiot.
kind of cool. That the ads that pre-roll and post-roll the archive at 4K Productions YouTube page, it'll be that ad with you in it. That'd be actually kind of cool.
I'm just hoping, sometime like this week, somebody just plows straight into me and just demolishes that car. Because then I would get the insurance money, which is worth way more than the actual car itself.
Not if it's another shitbox that plows into you.
Doesn't matter. They
Doesn't
have
matter.
insurance.
They got to pay. They got insurance. They got to pay it.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Got
please,
to
just
pay it.
somebody just drill me at a light.
They'd be like, so
Go get the Comey Law Firm.
was it was the whole thing like this or just
They're like,
I'm looking at a fully polished vehicle that looks like it rolled off the showroom floor. What happened to it? Got in an accident? What?
yeah.
What did
I'm
it look?
surprised that fender bent, honestly. I was like,
Yeah. And what
Oh wow, yeah. When you're going 80 and those big treads come off, you're gonna do some damage.
What kind of made me mad and the worst part was, for the most part, other than the 2 sections that got sawzalled for strategic access in the back, when I do stupid shit was the rest of the body was actually really straight. Like there wasn't any like serious major dings. The ones that were in the door that were put in there by this guy and the other guy hitting trash cans with my door.
How about how's the frame?
I like it anytime Mad Mike points at Alex and goes, "This guy did it." Alex always has to pause and go into his bank of memory, sift through his mind palace, looking for the file where he can recall at what state he was sobriety-wise.
I was drunk.
Yeah. So
He gets it's like a far
Davis would shut up about his new Explorer, and Gaskin and I were like, yeah, this thing's so cool. It could take out trash cans. And we started
they would open the doors into trash cans, and I was really pissed about
driving
it.
down the road.
Yeah.
They were empty trash cans.
They were empty trash
Like when
cans.
people put their trash out.
Yes.
Possibly.
So then I had.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they weren't next to the house when you did it.
In order to
Oh, it
curb-
wasn't in Hutto. It was.
Oh,
Grand Theft Auto Mad Mike
yeah
edition.
in order to curb this these actions, I ended up having to like enable the child locks in the back. And then they figured it out. And
Dude,
then
you
they
didn't know
undid 'em.
fear until you realized that you were actually locked in that son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
because now like I had to because they took the child locks. Yeah, and then they opened them back up, and I was like, you know what? Fine, screw you guys. So I enabled the child locks and broke the thing off. So that way, there's like the back doors are permanently like you have to open up
you
from
can't.
the outside.
Wow.
Yeah, which makes it really really weird.
So it's like a cop car or a border patrol car,
No, it's like a weird sexual assault vehicle.
and none of the window motors work either. Correct?
Yeah,
No.
the two rear windows
No.
work, and so does the sunroof. The front left,
Well,
That's more than mine.
Technically, if
No.
if
oh no,
No.
I hate
if
taking
if you
girls on
parked
dates
it
in
in
that thing.
if you did park it in a neighborhood somewhere and walk away from it,
Just no.
I do believe the police would be called.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I got pulled over a
I've seen
couple
worse
weeks.
things.
I got pulled over for driving a suspicious vehicle a couple of weeks back, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, it's good. You're good, dude. Later."
Speaking of suspicious vehicles,
Wait. With
I don't tell
registration
this-
6 years out of date.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you're fine.
holy cow, scream louder.
Yeah, I was like doing whatever on the toll road, and then I got pulled over, and then the guy was like driving a suspicious vehicle, and I was like, "No, I'm not." And he was like, "Yeah, well, we're
Yeah,
looking
you
for a
are.
gray SUV that's kind of creepy looking." And then,
Very descriptive.
yeah,
If anybody watching on TikTok wants to have the XFL picks, we're doing those next.
but
Quick story though,
no, what?
talking about suspicious vehicles, I get pulled over by one of Hutto's finest.
In the
Gotta
man
be
van?
like 5 years ago now when I was doing home inspections, and I'd drive the white van, the white Town and Country, and I'd drive out into the rural areas, so it was always covered with dust, with that brown dust. And Alex came over one night and visited, and we had a little barbecue and had a little bit of fun. And the next morning, I jumped in my van to go do some work, and I'm driving around, and I get pulled over. It was the school resource officer, Bill
Reitmeyer?
Reitmeyer.
Nice.
Bill pulls me over. And he's walking up to the car giggling. I'm thinking he's just messing with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Hey, man." I said, "What?" He says, "I'm going to jump out of here." So I get out in the dust on the back of my van. And I already look like I'm up to no good because I had this big. Alex had written free candy. So I'm rolling around these neighborhoods taking pictures of homes for the bank on a dirty van looking like me with free candy.
Oh, dude, that is
Oh,
so
man.
good.
That I do not recall.
And Bill's like, I don't really know what to do in this case, Mark. And I'm like, "Hey, man."
That's
No.
awesome.
That sounds out of character. I would have.
No, that
covered,
doesn't sound like the
I would've
like the
covered-
man
no,
I raised.
No. I would have covered that entire car with elaborate dick drawings.
But you did it so I wouldn't notice it. Dick drawings, I would have noticed. I would
You didn't notice free candy on the back of your
I don't
van?
walk around the back of my
gotta-
van. I
I
go
didn't,
to
yeah.
front
So
and
why
I
do you,
drive.
why do you
think?
think he-
Why do you think you would notice a mural of like
Peni.
the Last Supper
Of,
Phalluses.
dicks,
Phalluses.
phalluses?
yeah, well, I mean,
Well, the
here's-
big question is, in that
did you get any candy?
in that Last Supper of phalluses, is Jesus circumcised? That is the question.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
He was like a rabbi, so yeah, he was a rabbi. Well,
Whatever.
he was supposed to be king of the Jews, but anyway. Yeah.
Anyway,
I know Brian, the true savior,
Brian.
is circumcised.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Or Jesus' brother Craig.
Craig. Craig Christ. Oh, good old Craig.
He turns his water.
It's like Jesus. He wrote the New Testament. Craig. He created Craigslist. So
That's right.
Oh man,
Leland with the funny. All right.
cool.
Let's,
I don't recall that, and I'm sorry that I put you in that situation.
no, I thought it was.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, I was actually very. That was one of the proudest moments as a father. Of, I'm like,
trolled by your own son.
I got trolled by my own son, and it was
got him.
amazing.
Did you get any free candy from the van? No. Oh well, that's okay.
Well, see what most of the complaints when I did that type of work, because my van was dirty all the time, because I'd be driving out in the middle. Alex went on some inspections with me. I mean, it was you go back and
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
out
what-
to like Thorndale.
went to Rockdale, ran over that buzzard. He didn't move. Usually they fly away, right?
Yeah.
And that fucker just looked at me. I'm like, was he gonna
Well-
move? Alex was like, Carl, no.
Should have got out of the way, man.
Should have flew off, man.
awesome.
God damn. But you're driving around in residential neighborhoods, and you're supposed to be discreet because it's a private matter between the bank and the houses that you're inspecting. Because you're usually either behind in their mortgage, or they're behind, or they're about ready to foreclose, or something bad's happening in that person's life, and you don't want the neighbors to be
So you
know
basically
about it.
Oh,
So you
the neighbors
basically-
are gonna know because neighbors they're the best people you'll know, but they're also the worst people that you'll know.
Yeah.
So basically, you're out there for the bank to
Yeah.
make sure the house is not
just
getting
the eyes and ears for the bank.
just make sure the house is not getting strip mined of all the plumbing
Exactly.
and the appliances.
And then when the house became vacant, then I'd go tag it and notify a company to go out and take all the things that are left behind. Like if somebody just walks away and leaves their stuff. So, and if you're riding around in residential neighborhoods in a white van that's covered with dirt with a big long beard,
It says free candy.
and there's kids running around, neighbors tend to come out and talk to you. Now, I had all my credentials and stuff, and I did get contacted by people coming up and asking me what I'm doing, and I'd tell them, and I'd show them my credentials, and that usually was enough. But not when they got free candy.
Yeah. Again, sorry about that.
Not sorry. That's hilarious.
I'm not. That was a great prank. It was an amazing prank. All right, next week. Well, last week, we all sucked, except for Patty. Patty went 3-1. The rest of us went 1-3. Leland went 2-2, and I went 1-3.
Yeah, way to go.
Patty, he predicted
We all
Dallas.
got DC wrong.
Yeah, that was a shellacking by the Wildcats. I guess the Dicks
team
got
a team with no wins. A team.
yeah.
Whose truck is that?
This a dude I was working with at the time.
I see.
So if you guys on TikTok, if you want to listen to this and put it up on TikTok, I add you to the list if you want to pick the winners. And then after this, we have another mystery drink by Mad Mike. So let's pick our XFL teams, and then we'll have our mystery drink. Oh, and welcome home, Patty. No, you won't call in.
You dick.
So
Where's he at tonight?
At home with the lady.
at home with Miss Patty.
What's my landlord's name?
Doing
Miss Patty.
nerd stuff.
All right, first game up, Los Angeles at New York.
birds.
Is that the Battlehawks?
And that's Guardians. Guardians
New York
versus
Guardians and the L.A. Fire Dogs. or whatever.
Wildcats.
Wildcats. I'm going with L.A. on this one.
Blah.
Mad Mike?
L.A., I guess. Whatever.
Leland?
L.A.
Seattle and the Battlehawks. St. Louis Battlehawks.
Seattle.
Whoa, you didn't choose the bird team.
Oh, well, I mean, the Seattles are the Dragons, which is like an extreme bird with fire.
I'll take St. Louis on this one.
It's a firebird. Yeah, yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
I think I'll take St.
They
Louis on
lay
this one as
eggs
well.
and have wings.
Houston at Dallas. The battle for Texas.
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, they're going to...
Yeah, I can't.
The quarterback stats for Houston, this guy is amazing. Philip Walker. He has 10 touchdowns.
I heard they like to call him P-Walk.
10 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and he's thrown for 748 yards. He also has 87 yards rushing with 1 touchdown. This guy's
Wow.
this guy's going to end up in the NFL. He might even end up as a starter.
Maybe. I don't know.
DC versus Tampa Bay. DC, one of the best teams in the league, coming off a shocking upset win by a winless
Los Angeles Wildcats.
Los Angeles Wildcats, who suck.
I'm going to go with DC.
I'm going with DC too. Leland?
DC. I don't see them losing to 2 winless teams.
All
in a
right,
row.
nobody on TikTok wants to join us, so there we go. Mr. Drink. What do we got, man?
All right. Oh, hold on.
Alex is like,
I'm not going to ingest anything.
While he
I'm just
pours,
gonna-
while he
I'm just gonna
pours,
taste it.
while he pours the mystery drink. Did you any of y'all catch the Dallas game with the 2 forward passes?
No, it's not working. There you go.
So a forward pass was batted back to Landry Jones, and because
that's not a play, though. You can have 2 forward passes, but that wasn't a called play. I've yet to see a called play 2 forward pass. But you're right. It was batted back to him, and he threw it again. Go ahead.
can't do that in the NFL. And
No,
then-
no, you can't.
And also, what was it in the St. Louis Battlehawks? They had the first run back for a touchdown with the new kickoff style.
That was a cool run back.
That
too.
was a pretty damn cool run.
And I
back.
knew that was gonna. Once they get used to it. How much you giving everybody?
Oh shit. No.
God damn, dude.
Oh, where'd you learn how to pour a beer?
Oh, whatever.
How do you know it's beer? Could be a cider.
It could be an energy drink for all we know.
Okay, so what we're doing here on the show is every week
man.
Mike's going to pick an alcoholic beverage that people normally wouldn't drink. So it's not going to be like a Coors or a
it's
Busch.
not. It's
or,
never. It's sometimes
it's
there's
al-
going
it's
to be
gonna
good
be
stuff.
something odd. It could be good. It could be bad. We don't know. We just have to try it. Last week it was Four Loko, and it was the Four Loko
Black cherry. hard
Black
seltzer.
Cherry, and that smelled and tasted straight
All right.
ass. So it's a malt liquor. It's a malt liquor.
I don't think so.
I think it's. I guess.
Yeah, it's a malt liquor.
I think it's Miller High Life. What do you think?
No.
It's not,
I mean, it's not bad.
no, it's not bad at all.
You guys have to actually drink some.
This is Bud Light.
No, it's never going to be like a Bud Light or a Coors Light or some weak shit. It's going to be some off stuff.
It's not
It just
bad.
tastes like normal beer.
Yeah, tastes like what I guessed.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it tastes bad, but it just tastes like
It tastes like just generic. Oh, there's a beer, free beer. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's a
This
malt
ta-
liquor.
It tastes like what's in
Tastes like a malt liquor.
kegs at a frat party, pretty much.
Tastes like a bad malt liquor. Like some of that shit.
I don't know. It's kind of like Corona.
Maybe. I don't know.
You know, now that you mention it, it does. Well, no. You know what it tastes like? It tastes
Shiner?
like a Heineken.
I thought it tasted more Shiner.
It's got that Heineken bite to it, which would be very disappointing when there's so much other shit that we could be punishing ourselves, which would make this bit extremely funny, than one of the top-selling beers in the world.
I don't.
He's probably like, dude, everybody just needs a beer today, and I appreciate this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also don't
But
like
I'm not gonna
Heineken.
drink this.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Well, you got to get it on camera.
What's wrong?
Okay. Hey, what up?
It is Corona.
It is
Your
Corona.
boy knows your beers.
You were the one who guessed the Corona, right?
Wow, it's a Corona. We're all getting the coronavirus.
It's actually like really cool because you can buy this by like a giant jug.
A huge dude.
That's like $4 for.
Well, see, now it doesn't taste so bad. Now that we know it.
I was gonna say it definitely tasted like a Mexican beer.
I was like, because I also did
It was
not.
either, well, all right, Heineken or a Corona.
Part of the reason why I bought it is because I also did not want to poison myself again.
Oh, that stuff was. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's, well, we got to have some fun.
Well, like I said, you might
A
get
couple of us have to work at like 6 a.m. in the morning.
I got to work at 2 in the morning. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, like I said to you, sometimes you'll get a good one. Next week, I don't know. We'll see.
It's the mystery drink.
I might have to go out of my way to go and find like Steel Reserve Grape, which is literally like Robitussin.
So Corona is our mystery drink. So actually, after a long day of mowing the lawn, and you guys having a hard day, and this guy having
I'm surprised
no
you
coolant in his car,
put some Franzi in that car.
let's have a toast.
Oh, I'm already
Cheers.
empty.
Sure. Why not?
Ah, what? No. I have to wake up.
Give him a little bit.
No, I already.
Well, I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
Sip. It's bad luck to not drink after a toast.
A toast.
Yeah.
So, this show's moving along quicker than I thought. But we have the biggest brain in the room, and even though we don't like to talk about politics a whole lot, I would like to mention that Bernie Sanders, again, is getting the screw job by the DNC. Not that anybody from the DNC, I don't think, could unseat our current president, Donald John Trump, because of their gross mismanagement of the impeachment process and the fact that they're all idiots. They pretty much probably locked him in for the next 4 years,
And
which,
how they treated Roger Stone, too.
and how they treated your buddy Roger Stone. But what do you think, Leland? Do you think the DNC is actively attacking Sanders to make sure he doesn't get the nomination? And,
I think
and
so.
even if he keeps winning the delegates, though, how are they going to derail him?
With the superdelegates, which are usually picked by the party elite. There's about 600 superdelegates, which are about half the delegates that are allocated, or what is it, about a third of the delegates are allocated to actually pick their nominee. And the fact that Bloomberg is already motioning fairly out loud that he's going to say that he wants a brokered convention, which means they're going to steal the nomination from Bernie, which is going to alienate half of their voting base, or if not more. If you look at these Bernie rallies, and I'm no Bernie supporter, but I'm looking at how popular he is. He had 12,000 people.
Yeah, he had 12,000 people
In
here
Austin alone, and he had 17,000 people, I think, in a rally in Nevada, and he had 2 other rallies in Texas as well. So this guy is very popular, and he should have had the nomination in 2016 if they didn't steal it with the superdelegate count.
Did you work that, Alex? Did you drive that?
I drive it?
Were you working Uber?
No.
Nothing but pool rides. Just kidding. I don't know. I wasn't down there. It was. I
didn't
worked
know-
later.
I didn't know that there was something going down. Oh, wait.
His
You're talking
rally.
about the Bernie thing
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
12,000 people.
No, I didn't do.
Well, and you know, by Austin standards, 12,000 people for something down on Town Lake is kind of small. I remember when Obama was here in 2005 when he was running, getting his nomination for president. I was part of the security detail, and he had his rally right there at Congress and 11th, Congress and 11th, and he had 40 or 50,000.
I believe it. Yeah, or if you look at ACL, how big their crowds are.
I mean, it was a Sunday night. You know, people have to
Still.
work on Monday.
Well, there's also free parking, so that should have encouraged them because they like their free shit.
Was there free parking? Really?
Yeah, there's great. Now I told them that.
Damn you!
Now they're gonna say, "Oh wait, there's free
You
parking on
hippies
Sunday."
not paying for parking downtown.
Well, now I reminded the bureaucrats. Oh wait, we're not charging for parking on Sunday. Let's charge for parking on Sunday. So, yeah, 12,000 people versus what? How many people show up at a Klobuchar rally or a Biden rally or a Bloomberg rally? What, 50 people?
I don't know.
And of course, Trump, he fills up arenas.
I heard that 69.
He's your
people
boy, isn't he?
went.
You're voting for Trump.
Oh,
right?
I vote for Trump. I vote for Trump
Vote for
in
you,
the primary.
hands down. Vote for Trump.
Hey, he's got to keep America great. Vote for Trump. But
he
hey,
could
but-
shoot somebody in the street and Leland be like, "Hell yeah!"
Hell yeah. Got good aim.
It's like he's not gonna get
Caught him right in the-
he's not gonna get removed by Congress at this point. So
Caught him right in the left eye. I think what I find is so comical about this is the more I watch this unfold, he truly can't do anything wrong. I mean, he gets on Twitter. Do you read his Twitters?
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter.
They
I'm
are
like, holy
the
shit,
most
dude, calm
hilarious
down.
thing. It's like he's like a 12-year-old girl.
I mean,
I mean, some of the stuff he says, anybody else.
It's like
would
Lindsay
be-
Lohan is managing his Twitter account.
that would actually plot twist other orange person.
Oh my god!
Other orange
And
person
it
is
blows
managing
my
his-
mind.
I'm usually retweeting him too.
It blows my mind that he tweets this stuff, and he's still
I'm just waiting for him to.
popular. What is he at?
He's just speaking his
47%?
mind, Mike. He's just
51
he's just-
now.
He's just telling it how it is.
I'm just
Oh my
waiting to
God.
hear him say that it's, take that, China. I'm glad you got the Wu flu. I'm waiting to see that like pop up on
No,
Twitter.
he had a tweet just recently. It was all caps. It was like something about the
You chinged your last
the
chong.
Wuhan virus or the coronavirus
Here's-
is contained
here-
in the United States and everything's fine
Here-
and dandy. Stock market looks great. What does the stock market have to do with an epidemic?
Well, no.
I mean,
I'll
it
read his
does.
most recent tweet.
I will tell you that this was in response to market projections that the stock market would start to fail because of the coronavirus, and I think that's what he was. But the way he puts things, no one gets that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
6 hours ago, coronavirus
It's
is very
amazing.
much under control in the U.S. We are in contact with everyone in all relevant countries. CDC and World Health have been working hard and very smart. Stock market's starting to look very good to me! Exclamation point. That was one of his tweets 6 hours ago. Like,
Could have said like
retweet.
See,
stock market's unaffected.
I was pretty excited
hell are you talking
because the Ukraine, I guess they had somebody who had the coronavirus or whatever,
Holy shit!
and then
yeah.
Ukraine was like riot time.
Okay, since most of us here aren't Republican or Democrat, our only Republican in the room being Leland, let's look at who we have over here on the Libertarian side.
The good party.
Oh, good old Vermin's
From
Vermin.
Rockport, Massachusetts, candidate for president in 1992, 96, 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, and 2016. Candidate for mayor of Detroit in Michigan in 1989, and candidate for the mayor of Baltimore, Maryland in 1987. He is from Massachusetts. He's running for the president of the
I
Americas.
tell you what, man, that guy.
Vernon Supreme.
Is he still running on the free pony policy?
Everybody gets a free pony.
And he has his hat is just the best thing ever.
It's
You know,
it's a boot.
it's a boot.
He wears a rubber work boot on his head. He's got 35 popular votes. I'm writing him in this year. I'm writing him in.
Yeah, he should
I'm writing him in.
because
I'm
boot
not-
and free pony and mandatory toothbrushing aside, he does actually touch on a lot of like
He does.
legitimate issues.
Mandatory toothbrush.
He's like,
was he
now-
from North Korea?
He's like, now that I have your attention because you are all children and you like theatrics, listen to what I have to say.
And then we have another guy here who's a software engineer, internet personality, and podcaster who wears a big yellow hat. This is taxation is theft.
Oh, that guy,
Hell yeah.
Berman.
Berman. He's all right.
Dan Berman.
I want to
I don't know
see
much
what
about
is
him,
it? What is it? John McAfee. I want to see him.
What,
become
the
president.
Madman McAfee.
Yeah.
Where he murdered his neighbor.
Well, right
Whatever.
now,
Shut up, IRS.
What do you know about murdering neighbors, Leland? You some sort of expert?
Yeah, obviously you haven't murdered.
your
enough.
boy murdered
Your
somebody
boy
with a
would
drone.
murder people. Yeah, just get out of here. Shut up, Leland. Leland.
John.
Well, he's doing better with drones than I am right
I
now.
demand.
Your boy did a brup on an ISIS guy out the nose of an A-10 Warhawk.
I
Talk
demand
about murdering your neighbor.
a whole bunch of John McAfee for president because that dude rules.
So strong one. Popular creators joining us on TikTok. What's up, buddy?
Yes. Yeah. John McAfee would be good. He's not. I don't think he's a candidate this year.
No, well, no, he is, but he's way down the line. The
He
leading
also doesn't
candidate,
give a shit.
the leading candidate for the Libertarian Party with 142 delegates right now is from Laredo, Texas. He's an independent candidate for U.S. Senate from Virginia, and he's a candidate for president in 2000. He's the founder and president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, Jacob Hornberger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's the one that's probably going to end up on the ballot in all
for the
50 states.
Hornburger.
That'd be good.
He should,
Hornburger.
his campaign slogan should be like "Get horny." And then I don't know who his running mate should be, but they should have some sort of other weird thing, like if it's Hornburger.
Well, Lincoln Chaffee is his number right now, running number 2. He's a U.S. senator from Rhode Island.
Lincoln Chaffee's a good one.
It should
Lincoln
be.
Chaffee's a good one.
He needs
so
a running mate like Hornburger and
Hornberger
like,
Chaffee 2020.
no, like Rod Taco.
I think it's about time that the position of the vice presidency
Slit Taco.
is something a little bit more.
You fight to the
robust.
death.
Well, there was a time,
constantly
and I
taking
have
the
to
back
go.
seat.
I have to. Oops. I
Not
have
that they do take the back seat all the time. It's just
Well,
like,
the running joke is that
Jeez.
Bloomberg is openly saying that he wants Hillary as his running mate, so that means that before Bloomberg's inaugurated, he's going to mysteriously die.
I think what needs to happen is vice presidents should be given superpowers, and they have to fight to the death. I think this,
they
from
they
now,
already preside
from
over
now
the
on,
Senate.
in order to secure a president's right, every party needs to like bring forth a representative, and they have to fight to the death. I think that's fair, right? Do you
make
agree?
the politicians fight. to
Well,
the
the
death.
Yeah.
well, the idea.
I'm sorry, but like if somebody like catches a trident to the face and they're like, "Well, that guy's clearly not going to be president," you're like,
the idea is you pick a vice president so undesirable. You go you turn around and say,
no,
do you
they-
really want to do you really want this president to not
Yeah,
fill out his
it
term? You
has
got to
to-
have this horrible vice president.
It needs to have a tournament for president and vice president. It needs to be a tournament, like a tournament. So like, you're gonna have like your 5 or 6 representatives from each party, right, competing for the president and vice president.
Hey, did
spot.
you know that there are a bunch of people running against Trump for the Republican
It's
nominee?
like 8
Is
nominations.
Jeb?
Really?
Is Jeb there?
A little more
Jeb,
than 8.
Jeb,
There's
Jeb,
1,
Jeb,
2,
Jeb.
3, 4, 5,
Old
6,
Jeb.
7, 8, 9, 10.
I would vote for Jeb just because Jeb's
15.
mom said that she would
So
vote
these,
for him, and I was like,
so Bill Weld,
messed
the
up.
Libertarian vice president,
Who was actually
last
to the
year.
left of Mitt Romney, who was anti-gun.
who's he's running number
he's
2.
personally anti-gun.
Then we have Mary Maxwell, Joe Walsh, Eric Morrell, William Murphy,
Joe Walsh,
Matthew
like-
Mayturn,
like-
Stephen Bradley Comley
Musician Joe
Sr.,
Walsh?
No.
Rocky De La Fuente. I'm going to vote for him just because of his name. Rick Kraft, Juan Payne, Robert Ardini, President Bodie. President Bodie? That's the guy's name, President Bodie. Bob
President
Eli
Bodie.
Starlock and Zoltan Gurko.
Wait, you're running?
No.
That's interesting.
If they did the fight to the death thing, I would actually probably win that one for presidential.
Your truck would probably win that
Oh
one.
no, I would be over here with my
No, I
trident.
would definitely lose that
I
one.
think we should go total postman 3 laws, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if I do this,
Absolutely.
if I have to fight to be president, I will be referred to by one title only, and that is Lord Humongous. Because that's what I
Who
would
do you
literally
think?
wear.
Who do you think would win in a fist fight, Bloomberg or Trump?
Trump.
Yeah,
Think
he,
so?
He plays dirty. He'd be like, face
right.
sand.
Bloomberg would just try to throw money at Trump's face, and he'd be like,
Well,
"What are
you-
you doing? I'm a billionaire myself."
He would just like whip him with his.
It's hard to say because I think both would have a cardiac arrest
He would shoot Cheeto lasers from his eyes.
Actually,
Choke him with
Trump is actually in better shape than Bloomberg.
I would be afraid to fight Mike Pence. That dude shoots lightning bolts from his eyeballs. Like,
Yeah, that guy looks like a Sith Lord,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
like no one else.
He's just like, man, whatever. Lightning bolts. But yeah, I think that's how we should elect.
So I'm trying
leaders.
to find the other parties, but again, the propaganda only puts two parties in front of you:
Constitution Party,
Constitution Party,
Constitution, Labor
Green Party.
Green Party, Constitution
What about the
Party,
Lemon-
Communist Party.
What about the Lemon Party?
Wait a second. Well, Bernie's going to take that nomination too. So
They the which one?
The Wiccan Party?
Communists.
There's
don't
also the
actually
Reform
like,
Party.
Liberals.
Yeah.
Yankees don't like liberals. By the way, not all liberals are communists.
Yeah.
Just let you guys know.
But
All right, so here we have the candidates who have filed for the 2020 presidential election, and there is a shit ton
my
of them.
question is, where's Jeb?
Holy care.
Where's Jeb?
I'll just go. It's just,
Probably
this is-
arguing with his mom.
there's about 100.
Jeb.
well, both his mom and dad are dead now, so
Oh man, yeah, that's true.
I wonder who would win in a fight, W or Jeb?
Probably W. W probably. Always
I think
on those
Jeb.
sides. You think Jeb?
hell
You think
yeah,
so?
he's from Florida, man. You know that guy's nuts.
He's got a weight advantage too.
Yeah, but like W could be quick.
So,
I mean,
Ballotpedia.
W defeated Al Qaeda.
Al Qaeda.
Ballotpedia has, as of February 24th, 2020, there are 1,054 candidates who filed to run for President of the United States in the 2020 election.
Can you find
That is amazing.
312 Democrats, 155 Republicans, 64 Libertarian, 22 Green.
Only 22 green.
Is Ralph Nader in there?
Is he still alive?
Yeah, can we?
I think he's dead.
What?
What about Al Gore?
Al
Look
Gore-
up, stick up your ass for president.
No.
Hey, we're talking bad about his boy. He's getting a little testy over here.
Yeah.
They know you guys are the assholes.
No, you.
Talking bad about his boy Trump.
Nader is still alive, believe it or not.
Is he?
85 years old.
85 years
So
young.
he's not that much older than Bloomberg or Bernie or Trump. Bloomberg and Bernie are both 78 and Trump's 73.
He has not filed to run for president of the United States.
Okay, what about Jeb? The only one that matters.
The only one that matters? Let me
Jeb.
look. Jeb Bush. See, he'd be in the news, though, right? If he was running.
Probably not.
You just kind of do it low key.
Yeah. Jebediah.
Jebediah. There's a Jebediah in there. Hold on. Who the hell is Jebediah?
Okay.
He's probably from
Whoever
Utah.
Jebediah is, I'm voting for him.
Okay. Well, here's my like. What if with a name like Jebediah, can you be like a what's a face like Amish?
Jebediah Hill, the Libertarian Party.
Good for him.
Possible Amish person.
No Jeb.
You should go look up that Jebediah dude. Is he Amish? Because that'd be hilarious.
Jebediah? Let's look him up.
Yeah.
Jebediah Hill.
Because that I'm just thinking, since he'd be Amish, they would have like a armored horse and buggy, like rolling up to the White House. They'd be like, "Well, it's tired of having this old White House."
Oh, he's
Like,
from
they built
Youngstown,
another one.
Ohio. They have Amish in Youngstown,
I
Ohio?
believe they do. Amish are in what, Ohio and Pennsylvania mostly?
Jebediah Hill.
What does he look like?
He looks like a guy.
Education, no education on file. No caucus information, no personal experience. This guy is just an unknown.
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
He doesn't look very. He doesn't look very Amish.
Oh, it's Jedediah, not Jebediah.
Oh,
It's
that's-
Jedediah.
Yeah, that's still.
That's even more.
It's very Amishy. He could be a
Is that Middle Eastern?
no.
Jedediah?
No.
Jedediah Hill, vote smart. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Nothing.
He's really into
He's really
alchemy.
he's really into not putting any of his information on the internet.
It's a silent.
As a libertarian.
Oh, he's one of those libertarians.
I'd vote for Vermin Supreme.
Huh?
I'd vote for Vermin Supreme.
I'm going to write him in. If he's not on the ballot, I'm going to write him in. Just to see, because if you write him in, then when they put the voting results up, they have to put every single name that was voted for. And I just want to see his name on TV because Trump's going to win Texas. Okay?
Yeah.
Trump's going to win Texas. I just want to see what strange name I can get.
I don't know.
Spiro Agnew.
I don't know.
Richard
It's
Nixon.
like for 8 years we heard nothing but executive overreach and abuse of executive power and how we need to limit the power of the executive branch.
Yep, and then
it's like we have this golden opportunity to do this, to act on that.
Great thing, yeah.
And they're like, no, we're still going to pass the Patriot Act. We're still going to blow $800+ billion on defense. We're still going to do this. We're still going to do all these things that we criticized Obama for. But we're just going to keep on doing it because now we're doing it and it's okay. And it's bullshit.
And the problem I have right now with our government is the problem I have with the whole human race at this point is that, in the 60s, we went all the way to the moon on computers that were less powerful than the cell phones we have in our hands. And now it's 2020. We're supposed to have
flying cars. We're
supposed to have a moon base and at least be on our way to Mars. And now we're going backwards. We're actually hooking rides with the Russians, who are somehow became our enemies again, to get to the International Space Station on Soyuz capsules that are 1960s technology. But yet, here we are, the United States of America, spending $12 trillion on another aircraft carrier, of which we have 19 of. And the next country that has multiple aircraft carriers is China, and they got 2.
Force projection.
We could not.
We're not the
force projection?
We're not the one with the Wu flu. Okay, we need aircraft carriers. We
don't need that many fucking aircraft carriers.
I'm with you last week.
We don't need that much shit. We don't need that much on this planet with invisible lines.
Okay.
We need to put our money towards space exploration.
I have an idea. What if we? Because you don't like the idea of sea-based aircraft carriers.
No.
What if we
listen?
What if we put giant?
Hold on. Stop. It's not
Wait,
that
he's
I
going to something
don't
with this.
Yeah.
like. It's not that I don't like sea-based aircraft carriers. I don't like the fact that we got 19 of them fuckers.
Okay, so we take 5 of them. Roll with me here, and we put them on giant tank tracks, so that we could drive them everywhere.
They weigh.
It'd be like
they weigh half a trillion.
I don't
pounds.
care.
We could get Tony Stark to get the impulse submersion engines, and then we could have them hover above us.
Yeah, there we go. If we do that,
Well, the Russians are working on nuclear-powered
stuff.
rockets.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm with you with what you said last week.
We should be
Elon Musk.
doing that.
Yeah.
Elon Musk right now, as a private citizen,
Elongated muskrat.
has taken the lead in the space race. And you can call him all the names you want. That fucker's getting us to Mars.
Yeah, where they're gonna
and Jeff Bezos is gonna colonize it.
Jeff Bezos can't get his shit off the ground either. It's all Elon Musk.
And then all I'm gonna say is space brothels. And I said this last time, and I'm saying it again: space brothels.
You got a good point there. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to pay good money to go get their dick wet in a space brothel. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for I want to get to the point in the future where remember in the movie Heavy Metal where they were flying up to that giant city and I just want to see that because that sounds awesome. Getting shit faced in space sounds dope. Especially some sort.
Well, we're never going to get there if we keep building aircraft carriers, and we got 2 more in production.
Put a rocket on them and send them to the moon.
That's what I'm saying. Stop spending money. We already look. There's not a country on this planet that would stand up to us militarily. None.
Suck it, British Empire.
I was part of. I
Tell
was
that to
part
Vietnam.
of. No. Well, let me rephrase that. There's not a country on this planet that when we are allowed
20 years on terror.
that we are allowed to go in and use all of our resources to finish the fight instead of this fucking around with all these rules and stuff of engagement like Vietnam and Afghanistan and Iraq. When we went in and
rules
fought
of engagement in Vietnam, they carpet bombed everybody.
I know, but
Hell yeah.
It wasn't until there was nothing left. So like, hey, you can't do this anymore.
Vietnam,
like, there's nothing left.
And in Vietnam, the United States Army never lost a battle. Not one.
Even the Tet Offensive, they won.
They won every single ground battle that they fought in Vietnam. The United States won. The problem with it is that I saw in Vietnam, carried over in Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan, is that people figured out that war makes money. And the longer the war goes, the more contracts can be done through the government and the more people can make money. So they draw out these wars instead of just ending them. And one of the biggest things, and the reason I think the first Bush didn't get reelected is when we went over to Iraq in 91 and kicked the shit out of the fourth largest army in the world, combat-hardened veterans of 8 years of combat with Iran, and we rolled in there in less than 100 hours and beat the snot out. I mean, it wasn't like, okay, it was a fight and, we just won. We beat the living shit out of them. I mean, it wasn't even funny. The technology and the training and just the planning that went into that. We knocked out all their communications, and when we rolled into and ran into the Republican Guard, we were shooting their tanks before they even knew we were there. And that's like a corps of 3 armored divisions rolling across a pool table. 100 hours later, everybody's like, stop. I'm like, stop. Let's take a left. Let's keep going. Nope, stop. We're good. And when we were done in 91, the Iraqi army, for all intents and purposes, had ceased to exist. We took out 90% of their tanks and armored vehicles. Their entire air force was gone. Whatever navy they had was sunk in the Gulf. They were done. And we could do that to pretty much any. The people
and
say,
you guys should have just rolled into Baghdad.
We should have just
91.
took a left and kept going.
Yeah.
But we didn't. They stopped because they didn't see the money in it. Now there's money in it. When a buddy of mine that I worked with in the jail went over there as a contractor, made $275,000 tax free in 1 year, and all he did is work in armory as a contractor.
Yeah.
And the contractors are making huge money over there. So, caller, welcome to the show.
Mike?
Guys, it's Blanche Magnolia Beauregard. Oh my God. Lady has entered the room. Yes, ma'am.
Mike, this is Blanche, Magnolia Beauregard.
Well,
I need to
hello,
talk to you about
Blanche.
something.
How you doing, Blanche?
Can you make sure that we're alone? I'd like for us to be alone. when I
Okay,
talk
hold
to you
on.
about this.
Let me get everybody out of the room. Hold on.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
All right, baby. All right. It's just me and you now. Just me and you.
Okay. So, Mike, this is what I've decided to do. Remember last year when I was kidnapped and I was in that self-diagnosed, self-imposed Swedish Stockholm syndrome situation?
Yes.
Okay. Because, I love a swarthy man. Well, and remember how you were supposed to come and rescue me and you didn't?
I still have the notes, and I'm working on deciphering the code that you sent to do that. Yes.
Why?
Oh, I could stop doing that now?
I'm home, Mike. You've seen me. We've talked.
Okay. So stop working.
Remember you mowed my lawn the other day?
Oh,
We're fine.
hey, don't tell everybody about that. I thought we were supposed to keep that kind of the deal.
I'm not telling anybody about it, Sugar, because you got everybody out of the room.
No, yeah,
But here-
totally empty room. We are totally 100% alone right now.
Well, Mike, I've been thinking. What I want to do, Mike, is I want to write a book about my experience.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I want to write a book about the kidnappers, how I vetted them ahead of time. I want to write a book about I want to write a book about some of the people I met there, and I also want to include the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So are you going to include all the potential kidnappers that auditioned for that role that you turned down, and then the one that you eventually cast for that part?
I mean, not all of them, but a couple of runners up, probably, yeah. But here's the thing, because I want to include I just want to tell the story, warts and all, not unnecessary details, but I also need to talk about the failed rescue attempts.
Well, I just wanted to say that I tried real hard.
I know you did, Sugar, but you didn't go to the movie because it was a girly movie. I think we can talk about that.
No, I didn't.
Yes. And we missed two or three opportunities. You missed two or three opportunities, Mike, because you
I was just thinking it was one, not two or three. I thought
we just call it two?
Okay.
Why don't we just split the difference and call it two?
All right, we'll call it two.
And that was two too many.
Okay.
But the point is, I want to include that. Now, do you want to have some kind of pseudonym, or do you want me to use your name? Or do you want to go incognito? You tell me. Well, because I'm going to tell the story that I don't want to, because you've been a wonderful self-appointed bodyguard for a long time.
Well, I think we can use some creative licensing with the fact that maybe the code was jumbled through some sort of means, evil means, to where it would to throw me off instead of
Mike,
just me.
A code is always jumbled. That's why it's called a code.
But maybe we could blame it on Obama or Trump.
That's a wonderful idea. But there's so many other things I'm blaming on Obama in this book.
We could blame Trump though, right? We could blame Trump, right?
What about Trump? He wasn't there.
I mean, wouldn't it be Trump's fault?
Did he tell you he was there? He wasn't there. Sugar, he was not there.
But could we blame? But we could blame him, right? I mean, the Democrats need all the help they can get, really.
You are not going to politicize my personal love life trauma.
No, well, okay.
Make the love life great again.
Who are you, Michael Avenatti? No, we're not making this political. The point is.
Well, I mean, I got the fact that when when you were in your self-imposed Stockholm syndrome in some banana republic somewhere.
No, it wasn't a banana republic.
No, it wasn't a banana republic. Was it a pineapple republic?
Maybe it was something Harvey Weinstein told her something to do. I don't know.
It's a mango regime.
Mango regime, maybe.
Mango regime
might be a mango regime.
Mike, what?
Strawberry Paradise.
Who are those voices? What are those voices?
Oh, we're here alone.
We are
but
the voices of Mike.
I'm here alone, but this is my brain trust.
I don't understand what that means. Being, as you didn't have enough brain to unscramble a code
We all-
to come rescue me.
Well, that was kind
collective
of wasn't that obvious though?
Once again, I've trusted you, and you have failed me.
No. All these.
I don't know who these. I don't recognize these voices.
But you trust me though, right? You trust me though, right?
I don't trust those voices.
They're my inner circle.
One of those voices.
They're my inner circle. Yeah.
Gosh, where did you meet them, Whataburger?
Well,
listen,
one of them I created.
We will talk about this later. You call me when you are fully alone and there's no one listening. This is a private. What if they take my idea and steal it and write a book before I get mine finished?
I don't think in this crowd that is even a remote problem to be. I don't think that's going to happen.
You never know.
We're the 451.
I mean, right
Fahrenheit
now,
451 crowd where books get burned.
Right now, we've got a guy who's so far in the right corner of Trump that that's all he's concerned about. Then we have my spawn, who's disinterested as any millennial that I've ever seen. And then over here we got Mad Mike, who's basically looking at memes during the show on camera.
That nearly died yesterday.
Because that
You should we should have a over the shoulder angle of just like
of just him looking at
Memes.
memes.
that you could share.
They're pretty good.
Memes in real time.
So not only are they in any danger of actually helping me help you, they're not in any danger of stealing anything from you.
Fine.
Yeah, I don't
Thank
even
you.
know
You've
what we're
just
just
wasted 3 minutes of my day.
That's how you
Introducing
freeze
me
a
to people that
ball,
I'm
you
never
know that,
gonna
right?
see in real life.
For
I'm
later.
sure they're wonderful. I'm sure their mom and dads love them, and the grandmothers are crazy about them
Dad
and pray
hates
for them
me.
all the time. But I've got to go, okay?
Are
Toodles.
you going to call back
See ya,
later?
Blanche.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blanche Magnolia Beauregard, my dear friend and pretend girlfriend.
You're in trouble.
I'm big time in trouble. God dang
You're in
it.
trouble.
That's why I'm single.
You might have to get the whole icy nut.
I only have one that works, so.
Sure enough.
Man. Topher Town Music. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's one of the top creators on TikTok. Checked in with us, man. Topher Town. Had a debate the other day with another TikToker, and it was pretty entertaining.
How do you have a debate over TikTok?
Now, they had a debate. They met on TikTok and had a debate over what's a bigger threat to the African American community, systemic racism, or the breakdown of the African American family. And both Topher and the gentleman that he debated against is a debate coach and college professor. And I watched. He finally put it up on the YouTube. I didn't get to watch all of it, but Topher did a good job because the other guy's kind of a bully. Well, not in a bully in the sense like what we had to deal with, but a bully like I will talk louder and faster, and that makes me right type thing.
Oh, you mean the Ben Shapiro's type?
Well,
Wait. You don't like Ben Shapiro?
but with less substance. See, Ben Shapiro is even though I don't agree with everything he says, he does say a lot of things that are true, and he's very well. He articulates it well without attacking someone else.
Oh, so he's like the Alex Jones type.
Yes, I would put George Lee, Professor Lee, more of an Alex Jones, an African American Alex Jones.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
So he's very entertaining. I engaged him a couple of times and went back and forth until I realized that he's basically a charlatan. I was going to have him on a show, and he wanted to debate, but his form of debate is I'm going to tell you what the subject is, and I'm going to tell you how to answer, or else I'm right, type thing.
yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for this. But Topher stepped up to the plate and did a great job. And Topher Town Music is a gentleman who you'd like him. He's an African American singer and songwriter, and very well spoken. And he has a kind of the same philosophy I have about anything that happens in our world, whether it be an African American with systemic racism or abortion or anything else, is that it all boils down to personal responsibility. What are you going to take personal responsibility for? You can't put that responsibility on a race. You can't put it on a gender. You can't put it on a social economic status. You can't tax your way out of it. You can't legislate your way out of it. But if you take personal responsibility for yourself, that solves a lot of these problems. You know, I work.
That sounds like Dave Chappelle's actually one of his influences.
Exactly. I worked the East Side Austin. I never arrested anybody who didn't break the law. If you didn't want to get arrested, don't break the law. Please, because I don't want to do paperwork. I want to ride around in my car and drive fast with the lights on once or twice, go eat dinner, and go home on time. No, I'd roll in with 9 reports down on on family violence. Somebody assaulted somebody over a drug deal, ODs, drug arrests.
Did you have to escort these, when you arrested and booked these guys to do the reports, did you have to drive them to the county jail?
Yeah, I mean, when you arrest somebody, just the process of arresting somebody is 2 hours. So that's 2 hours I'm not on the street. Plus, it's all the paperwork, especially if I catch somebody with drugs on them.
Shit.
So
it means you have to get out the forensic team to basically categorize all the evidence. Which
No, I mean, they taught. I knew what a drug looked like. I went in and
no, but I mean, so yeah.
no. I mean, but it's still. I had to take the biggest.
Cough medicines and shit like that. They don't have forensic teams testing.
The biggest. I mean, I was a drug recognition expert. I knew what drugs look like. I mean, I knew.
Probably you had to call backup out to have all that. To have
No, you just. Well, I'd call backup to tow the car if we had a car, but I'd process it all myself. But the thing is that the biggest time spent isn't the arrest itself; it's waiting in the jail. Because you go down there, especially on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, you're in line.
Shit.
You got to wait in line. It's like going to Whataburger.
Which means
Because they have to. Yeah. So you sit in this waiting area with your prisoner, and you're waiting there and waiting there and waiting there as you know the corrections officers in process your guy, and you can't leave, especially if there's drugs involved. You can't leave until he gets processed in. So that's 2.5, 3 hours
that you're off
on
the
one
street.
guy that I'm off the street over some stupid drug charge.
So what percentage of officers are off the street at any given point while they're processing these arrests?
Well, on a busy night, they'd have 3 overlapping shifts. So you'd have a lot of officers on the street. Well, I'd say a lot, 1 per 2,000 citizens in the area. And there was a lot of nights that we'd let things go just because we didn't want to not be available for a big event. Like if something really bad happened, like if it's just a couple of guys beefing over a marijuana sale, you know, you go handle it. You tell them both to shut up, and you know, hopefully you don't find their stash, and they can go on their merry way, and you can go on your merry way because there might be a.
So that's when they say during South by or any of these other festivals, it's like there's not going to be there's the percentage of officers is concentrated downtown, and B, there's probably not going to be as many arrests because, like you said, the last thing that you would need is having
you got to
officers
prioritize.
Officers off the street.
And you know, I didn't make anybody break the law. I didn't go chase people down that weren't breaking the law to put them in jail. I certainly didn't want to shoot anybody. But you know, my whole thing on systemic racism exists because people feed it. People feed it, and then they use it as an excuse for their own lack of personal responsibility. And there's so many people that are become successful despite that, who've come out of bad situations, because circumstances will never be equal. But the opportunity to become successful and the opportunity to be more than you can be, or to go make money, just to make money. Money's too easy to make. I'm sorry. If you're not making any money and you live in the United States of America, shame on you. Shame on you. And if you're waiting around for that dream job and that's why you're out of work, go mow a lawn. Seriously. Perfect example. My boy over here, who I'm very proud of, started out turning a shovel. And now he's running a company. That's how many years? Like 5 years?
6 years.
5, 6 years? Yeah. He turned out just as one of the guys turning a shovel. But you know, he did it because he needed a job. He needed work and turning a shovel. I worked with Mad Mike and his dad over here when there was a plumber, being a plumber's assistant one summer, long enough to realize I'm never going to be a plumber because that fucking work sucks. But it was a job. I needed money, and I went out and did a job.
I mean, obviously, there's like, you know, there's environmental, not environmental, but, you know, just, I live in Central Texas, so it's like we're blessed enough to live in Texas where our economy hasn't absolutely took a gigantic shit.
But
like
anywhere,
other people's
but you can
economies,
still go
which
get.
is why a bunch of people are moving here.
You can still make money, though. You can still make money.
I mean, it all depends. You know, there has to be money to be.
There's always jobs to do. It's the problem I see is that there's always jobs to do, but they're not jobs that people are willing to do.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, right now there's a shortage. Here's the shortage. If you can go online and look. The last time I looked, it was a couple of months ago. But we have a shortage in framers. That starts out paying at $17 an hour. That's an apprentice framer. If you don't know what a framer is, they build the walls of your house before they put all the stuff on it. They have a shortage of roofers. They have a shortage of landscaping, people that work landscaping. They have a shortage of, now, and I'm talking about people that just do the maintenance part of it. They have a lot of companies, but those companies, I mean, you guys are short people, keeping people on, because people do those jobs and then they move on to better jobs, but still, the jobs are there.
Yeah.
The jobs are there. I drive for Uber and Lyft. I mean, that's what I've done.
The resources that
just
you
got Gary V.
More
who's
complex. It's more complex than that. Like I was lucky enough to where I had resources to where I was able to, like, if I didn't have a bike or if there wasn't a transit system, there's no way for 4 years that I was working at that company, or 3.5 years of working at that company, that I was just going to be walking 9 miles to work.
But you found a way. Is my point.
Because I had.
And if you hadn't been able to,
it's my expense. But like, there's people that live in like.
Yeah, but
bumfuck Mississippi.
Let me ask you this:
no work.
If you didn't have that, would you have still survived and gotten a job doing something? Or would you have just quit and said, "No, I got to put it. I got to put it on the government to save me"?
I'm not saying that like that. I'm not saying it's an excuse to quit. I'm just saying that with my personal experiences and stuff like that, like it's a little bit froggy. You know, I was kind of like on the edge there, and like I said, I was.
It doesn't have to be easy.
I was able to exploit the the resources that I had.
I didn't say it's easy. I'm saying it's out there. Money is out there to make. I mean, I drive for Uber and Lyft now, and that used to be really, really lucrative. Now it's just, I got to work hard. But I can either sit back and complain about it and vote for Bernie to go create me some jobs. First of all, governments don't create jobs, just to let you guys know. It's a big myth.
They actually cause situations that kill jobs.
Exactly. Government doesn't make anything. All government does is take. But I would find something else. I was doing house inspections before I found Uber and Lyft. And my dream is to make my money doing this and doing voice acting and doing acting and stuff like that. So, I'm on that path, and Uber's helping me do that, and it's paying all my bills. I don't have that many bills to begin with, thank God. But I put my ego aside. I don't have to have a title. I don't have to, have all these things.
Yeah. Again, it's all about where you live. I mean, in Austin, there's excuses and stuff like that, but it's easier to find a job. I mean, the job is definitely out there, or the jobs are definitely out there. But again, like, that's because we live in an area where work is a surplus. The availability of work is a surplus.
Well, I get that, but even in
but like, I mean, can you say that about Detroit or like 1980s
Absolutely.
New York?
Absolutely, I could, because there's always work to be done. There's always some work to be done. There's always work to be done. Are you willing to do it? To do it short term to get to where you're going, or to just do it to survive for now? There's always work to be done. Always.
Yeah.
What was your buddy's name in school that's got the big landscaping company now that started out mowing lawns?
Again, we live in Central Texas, so it's like
it doesn't matter, but
shit, yeah.
It doesn't matter. He grabbed a mower and he walked it around his neighborhood till he could buy a truck, and now he's got a fleet of trucks and he employs people.
Yeah. So he creates jobs.
Worked hard. He worked hard.
He makes jobs available.
Yeah, he worked hard. But anybody else could do that too, or at least start down that path. He didn't know when he started he was going to have the business he has now. He just knew he needed money. He wanted to buy a truck. What the hell is that kid's name?
I'm not going to say his name on the air, but yeah. I know his name.
Okay.
Jim.
All right. Well, I don't know why we wouldn't say his name on the air. I mean, he's a successful businessman. He mowed our lawn a couple of times.
Leland might say something like genocidal or some shit like that. So,
but the point I'm saying is that there's jobs out there, and in the summertime in Texas they have a shortage of roofers because it sucks and it's hard work. But how bad do you want to feed your family for right now? I mean, like I said, I was a plumber. I dug ditches with this kid for a whole summer. It sucked. It was hot. Yeah. It was horrible. I hated it, but I had to feed. I had to pay my bills.
I mean, it definitely takes this, not a special type of person, but I mean, it takes a type of person kind of take that kind of abuse. I'm not going to be like an elitist about it or anything like that. But there's definitely people that just aren't cut out for it, and it's just based off of like
but
their personal experiences and their upbringings and
But those people shouldn't. But still, and I get it, and I have empathy for them.
Yeah.
But I have no sympathy because
it's definitely
jobs are
kind of
there.
like a
if you're out
life
of work
sucks,
because
get over it, couple thing like that, and like no doubt,
go work
but
hard. Go
it's
work
kinda
hard.
Like,
Hard work cures everything.
it's crazy. I mean, if you tell that to like a college kid or something like that who was duped, and our generation was duped into getting good to college degrees.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it's absolute bullshit that like you
pretty
have
much
to pay
every
for
generation.
these classes that have very little to do with your degree. Like those people that are taking remedial English in college and they're paying $1,000 for it when they can actually be maybe they're just not. Maybe it just doesn't jive with them. It's not in their bag. It's not in the wheelhouse. But like complex physics is, and they're really good at it. They just don't know how to spell physics. So, I mean, just,
well, and that's something, and it's something I've talked to the school here about when you were in school, and of course I have this conversation all the time. I think schools should get away from the whole college push. To be honest with you. Not because college is bad, but college just isn't for everyone. And right now, there is a shortage of tradesmen.
yeah.
Back in the day, back in the day, when you were old enough, your parents sold you to somebody who is a plumber or
apprenticeship.
As an apprenticeship, and that was your schooling, that was your college, and you became a printer, a carpenter, a roofer, a framer,
machinist, mechanic,
any of those things.
Yeah.
And the trade school right now in Hutto hardly has anybody in it. But right now, if you graduate high school and you go through a trade like to be a plumber, plumber's assistants are starting out at $15 an hour. $15 an hour,
with no college debt.
And then when you get to a master plumber status, like in 2 or 3 years, if you study and really do it, then you can either work for a company as a master plumber making $50-$60 an hour, or you can go be your own plumber and be your own business.
Yeah.
And make even more money. And that's good money.
Look at the Radiant guys.
Yeah.
How much money they're making? They're terrible ads, but they're making a buku money.
And they were so bad, they sold their company. Listen to this. They made the mistake where they sold their company, wanted to get back in, got hired by the company they sold, then the people that sold them that they sold the company to were so inept that the company went bankrupt, so they bought it back.
That's hilarious.
It's like, no, we sold it to you in the first place. We'll take it from here.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
They just moved into this huge building at the corner of 290 and 35. It's this enormous.
Yeah. There's a guy I worked with when I was a janitor. Remember I had that van and the buffers and all that stuff?
Yeah.
When I was buffing floors, because I went and buffed floors and was a janitor. And it was just me and this other guy. And he had a van, and we'd go down to pick up our workers. And we go clean. We do construction cleanup. We do the general maintenance. And I buffed the floors in the Williamson County courthouses with a big propane buffer. And that was my job. I'd take off every night at 9 o'clock after working a full day. And he was paying me well. He was paying me good to be a floor technician. And now he has a huge warehouse and a fleet of about 15 trucks. Cap City Janitorial. God dang it. I can't remember his last name.
Should have stuck with him, man.
Well,
you'd be a COO right now.
Well, I worked for him when I was between applied materials jobs. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have stuck with him. I could probably have been one of his, I could have been like something. I don't know.
Vice president?
Not an actor, though. So I'm kind of glad to do that. Because then I went on to be a cop and did all that, and it was fun.
Yeah, that's true.
And to be honest with you, I did that work because I had you and Vicky and your mom worked at Applied, but we needed the money, and I went to work.
Yeah.
I went and found a job. I didn't let my ego say, no, I have to be a manager because I build warehouses. I used to build warehouses. I was Apex certified and everything. I got laid off from a job. I'm making $17 an hour and I'm a janitor, buffing floors. But we needed money. So I went and worked. I didn't complain about it. I didn't sit on my ass at the house complaining about there's no jobs. Yeah, there's jobs. You just got to go do it. And they're going to suck. And those jobs are going to suck. And you're not going to want to do it for the rest of your life. I don't want to be an Uber driver for the rest of my life. That's why we're doing all this stuff in here and getting my... got another funny story for you. I'm learning about recording and stuff like that so I can make money with my voice and with the TikTok. And I don't even know why I'd be on this stupid app, but I'm on it because it's a marketing tool. And hopefully it'll draw people to this show. And this show is going to get better and have fun with it and hopefully get...
the show's great. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, this fantastic show is even going to reach greater heights of stupendousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry.
But, hey... And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you live in this country and you have at least a high school education, if you're not making money, man, it's your fault. It's your fault. And sometimes opportunity shows up, and it's disguised as hard work. And it might not be the job. It might not be your dream job. It might not be the job you do for the rest of your life, but it'll be the job you do right now. To feed your family, to feed your needs. And
Shawnee, back in my day, we could buy a whole house for like $15,000. I don't know why. What do you mean the rent is too high?
I showed you the hill I walked both ways.
Did you
uphill.
show your landlord your work boots? You're just not tugging on your bootstraps
I
hard
tell you,
enough.
I'll take the bootstraps I pulled myself up with and whooped you with them.
My grandpappy made these boots for the bootstraps here. And
And if you don't remember, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
All right,
back
guys.
in my day when the dollar had buying power,
For the rise of the Chinese.
We used to go down and get 4 pieces of candy for a penny.
I'm just saying it's not
Now
like
it costs
it's not
what,
it's not
3
like
cents to make a penny.
No,
super simple. You
it's
know?
not easy. It's simple.
I mean, it's not even. It's well. I mean,
It's not easy.
it's a complex
swallowing
issue.
your pride.
It's a complex issue.
Swallowing your pride, putting your ego aside, going and do a
Microwaving.
job that you might believe is beneath you for less money that you're used to making.
Microwave some Chinese food.
Buy some popcorn and ramen.
Some
and
Chinese
fight through it. I mean, I've done it so many times in my life that now it's to the point where I don't even. I mean, just do it. Just get off your ass and do it. Do the job now until you get the job that you dream of. In 1 year, I want to be making commercials and getting paid thousands of dollars to go produce a commercial. Hopefully with some of the guys in the room, if that's the direction they want to go, and get the equipment to do it, and make film and make short movies and make feature-length films and produce them, and that's my goal. That's my goal. But in the meantime, I gotta drive for Uber.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I gotta feed the beast. I gotta I have to make some sacrifices and not buy the things I want to buy now that I'll get later. My goal is to get up every morning, walk into this studio with a bunch of work to do, knock it out before lunch. When your voice is good, like after the coffee. Knock it out before lunch, and then go sit on the back porch and maybe drink a scotch. Maybe head out to the range on a Sunday instead of having to teach a freaking defensive driving class on Saturday. And relax. Start really doing some stuff to this house because I have the disposable income sitting in the bank to do it. That's my goal. Will I ever get there? I don't know, but I'm not going to sit around and worry about it. I'm certainly not going to vote for somebody who says they can give me that because nobody can give me that but me.
But Mike Holland, don't you want $15 minimum wage and a bunch of free shit?
Well, It's a great thing. It's just a great thing, and I'm here to tell you now. It's fantastic. It's wonderful, and we need to get that guy back on the show.
Oh, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
He was
Impersonator
absolutely.
guy.
He was absolutely
I tell you what,
brilliant.
as soon as we get this set up, he'll be one of our first guests because I want him back. Tim Bramford, he was hilarious.
was brilliant.
Our sound sounded like shit during that whole thing.
I'm gonna wear Crocs
All
all
right.
the time.
Deans to beans, I won't forget about you, brother. All right, guys, let's close this sucker down. Thanks for joining us out there on the YouTube land. Wait till he keys up the ending video.
Penis.
I don't know why he just says that. All right, you got the video up?
Next week.
The video ready? Do it. All right, thanks for joining us. I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks for joining us here in the studio. Leland Freeman, player to be named later, and Mad Mike. I'm Mike Allen. Come back next week, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, theradiomancave.com, so you can hear everything that's going on, even the phone calls that we get through here that you can't see on TikTok. Thanks for joining us on TikTok. I'm out of here.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.